Welcome to this week's edition of the MMA-analysis podcast. I'm your host this week, Brad Taschuk. We got a three-man booth, as it were. Lance, I told you guys, Lance goes to Vegas. He's going to miss the next week of the podcast because the AIDS flares up. So he's not here. I think he went to Scottsdale because that's where all the old people live. So they get the good medical treatment there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you guys think he went to Scottsdale for work, but he went to Scottsdale for the world-class medical facilities.
That's understandable.
So, exactly.
You can't blame the
Las
bubble
Vegas.
boy for getting that.
He's an old Jew. It happens to the best of us. Sean, how's it going this week?
I'm all right. The Oilers are sucking again, which is always terrible. It's terrible for most people that are in our group because we're really on the McDavid MVP train.
Dude, what happened to that? I remember people tweeting about that.
The crazy
all
thing
over
is,
the
like,
timeline.
he's still like the
best
favorite.
player.
Well, he's the best player and
Yeah.
he's a favorite. He probably shouldn't be at all, but I mean, the dude can all of a sudden catch a heater and
Dude, he's gonna do it. We'll manifest that. He'll get hot. During...
I hope so.
How much
It would be
time is
nice.
left in the season? Is
There's
it-
still like a
there's
quarter
still
of
like-
the season left.
There's
a
more
lot.
than that.
he's
It's like
gonna
a
get
third.
hot. He's gonna
Yeah.
get hot for sure.
We need a heater, so
It'll happen.
that's what
And
I'm hoping for.
We'll let
as you guys can see and hear, we've got Aaron Watershow back with us, joining the pod. You got the nice intro the first time. You don't get a big nice intro this time.
You're not
just-
special
Run
anymore.
that back.
Just one
I
of
was
the
hoping you
boys.
to run that back.
Maybe we'll clip it out of the last show and
There we
edit
go.
it into this one.
I got it clips out if you need it. I've been watching.
That seems like a lot of work.
I hope you listen to it. That's like your morning motivation. When the alarm
Exactly.
goes off, it's
You gets
just
me
that
going.
intro. Awesome. Aaron, how are you doing? Welcome back.
Tremendous. Glad to be back. Starting to feel like Lou Williams, 6th man of the year right now. Whenever Lance
There
is
it is.
out, just 2 less girlfriends than he has, but whenever Lance is gone, I'm always down to hop in, so I'm pumped. Ready
Wait,
to go.
two
Cheers,
less
boys.
girlfriends than Lou Williams, or 2 less girlfriends than Lance?
Lou Williams.
Lou. Lou. What are we doing here?
Lou's always popping around with a few.
That I've heard some things, and
Right.
there's a reason that he went to Atlanta. Is the
Yeah.
facilities,
The
that
Great
they have.
Wings.
Yeah.
I have one of the, I forget what fucking strip club it is, but I bought one of the shirts from the strip club that he was like,
Course.
the wings are dope. It's called, I think it's called Magic something, but I got one of the shirts.
That
from
sounds
him.
right.
And like people recognize it too. I was walking, I went to like a liquor store and the guy was like, "Oh, is that the strip club?" I was like, "Yeah, it's the fucking
Of
strip
course
club."
it is. It's a solid. See, that is the true silent majority right there, folks. People
That's
that
how you-
know
that's
all
how you
about strip
identify a bro.
clubs, but they don't want to say it too loudly. Just
Yeah,
for fear of being
it's got to be certain situations, and then it's a conversation starter. Not in every situation.
Absolutely. So we have 14 fights to break down this week. So we're not going to waste too much time. But of course, we have to look back at last week's UFC 272. Turned out to be a pretty entertaining card. I think we all thought it was a pretty good card going in. It ended up being a pretty good card coming out. A little bit of a weird sort of lull at the end with the end of the RDA fight. And then, I mean, people,
What you expected.
yeah, people tried to really get invested in Covington, Masvidal. I'm not sure that they could. I couldn't. And it ended up playing out to script, as it were. Do we want to let's talk about the main event? Masvidal's shot. He's washed. He can't pull the trigger anymore. I mean, he's who we thought he was. He's who we on this podcast have said he is for years. And even with all that, he still had one big moment in the fight.
That was dope.
Colby's got a chin on him, man.
He can recover. Oh shit.
That was like the Diaz fight. They'll be able to hang their heads on that one punch that they both had.
Yep. Hell yeah. He had Edwards. He let him have it.
That's
fucking
hey BMF2 Electric Boogaloo, baby. Let's do it. But yeah, that one punch was like Colby was on an elevator that was going down way too fast, and then it stopped. And he just
he's got a dope chin though. Obviously, like that was a good ass punch. They showed it in replay, and they hit him right in the button, and he just got right back up. So
yeah, he didn't even go down, just like
crumpled sideways and got held up by his knees.
Yeah, and then he was just right back at it. So he might have that. He might have a little Frankie Edgar in him.
Aside from that punch, he was outstriking Masvidal too.
Yeah,
volume, man.
Beating his ass. Yeah, it was just like that's you just drown when you go against Colby. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and
unless you're Usman, you're fucking drowning.
Yeah, you're drowning.
Yeah.
What's
Masvidal was. I mean, I thought he would have a little more cardio than that, but I like Colby does put on a pace. But he was like midway, like start of round 2. It's like he's already heavy breathing. This is not a good sign.
I was shocked he didn't get like a rear naked choke or anything. He was in that position for so long. I feel like so many of these fighters, like they get in that position, they can't finish. I don't know if it's like, everyone knows how to fucking defend it now, but no one ever is like gets the back like that unless you're like really high level. Like Umar got a nice one, but like most people can just chill and camp on the back. And
I think that's part of Colby's game though. Like he's not really putting in that much effort. He kind of does that to see what you're gonna do if you're gonna like turn in, which you eventually have to do, and then he's gonna try to get mount, or like he just does it to like fuck with your breathing and stuff like that. He doesn't really go for.
He doesn't even try to put the other hook in either.
He's just trying to get a reaction, and it works because. And then he just scrambles. Fucking Masvidal, even like this dude trying to grapple. What are we doing here? The oxygen was not flowing to his brain. He was just like just get away and strike. But
like trains with a bunch of like high quality like NCAA wrestlers all the time. So he was working on it. So maybe you want to try it, but there's only so much you can fucking do. It's at a certain point when you're going against someone who's that much better than you at wrestling. You're not going to just learn how to wrestle in a year or whatever, how long he had it.
Yeah, for how long they trained together, and I'm sure Colby ragdolled him in the room every time he wanted to. Like for Masvidal to think that after he left, he was going to improve so much that he could out-grapple Colby is just that's some galaxy brain shit from him.
Yeah, sold some pay-per-views though, so got some people to believe, but I think the real ones all knew it was going to go down there.
Yeah. We've got some good prices to fade Masvidal in the past 3 fights.
Crazy.
Yeah.
After he hit that heater, he was obviously overvalued, and then Usman.
I think he was taking some money too. I know Drake fucking bet like.
I don't know what that is. Honestly, I feel like he got a sponsorship with Steak, and he fucking dropped. He's dropping bags to get that name out there. And
but he's always picking the wrong dude, no matter what he's. Fucking,
he's the curse. He
might be betting the better levels of mush in there.
The difference is that the volume isn't trying to lose. Drake's looking for the tax write-offs, man. That's what that donations.
FYI lost a bunch of cash.
Watch the UFC broadcast. They posted it right there, man. That's money I lost. I need to write that shit off.
You guys should get Drake on here one time, and then we'll get his picks.
Maybe we've got it in here because we got the Canadians here, 2 of us. Exactly. So we got the angles covered.
100%.
Actually, I knew a guy in university who was like Drake's second cousin or something like that. And unlike Bryce Mitchell and his second cousin, they were not married. Yeah,
we'll get him on here. That'll be the pinnacle.
We'll see. Maybe we'll have to get the fans to swarm Drake to bombard him with requests to come on a random MMA podcast. We'll go from the bottom up now. First fight of the evening: Dustin Jacoby unanimous decision over Michal Candyman Olowokandi. I mean, we thought that the Candyman had a shot in round 1, and he looked good in round 1, and then Jacoby just took over. That's kind of how people thought the fight was going to play out, and it's how it played out, except most people thought there was going to be a finish. Anything here, Aaron?
No, yeah, I bet the Candyman, and it was frustrating to watch. Kind of just like gave up at the end, just it wasn't doing much, couldn't get off the cage, and I think he just ran out of gas. So I'm not sure if he's got 3 rounds in him, but it looked all right. But yeah, I mean, Jacoby was fucking hurt and he couldn't do shit. So not very, not a great thing. So yeah, I don't know. If Jacoby came in full strength, maybe there would have been a finish.
Maybe. Sometimes it seems like he pulls back a little bit. He's just comfortable being in control of a fight. Yeah. Sean?
Yeah, not too much. I lost money on the Candyman as well. Looked all right in the first, and then his skeptical gas tank showed up, so it might not be skeptical anymore. I was like, yeah, I know. He usually does.
He's got great hands,
man. Yep.
Actually goes to the body and like, I don't know.
Yeah. Just if only he had cardio and was fighting at 185.
Yeah,
I was gonna say if he gets on the bike, gets in shape a little bit, he could probably make 185 without a sweat. So I don't know, maybe that's next for him, although I doubt it. Moving up to the lightweight division, we had Ludovit Klein taking a split decision over Devontae Smith, and I really don't have any feelings about this fight whatsoever. It happened.
Yeah, I like Klein better at 45 because he's either getting knocked out or he's putting damage on people. I lost money. I had doesn't go in a parlay. I expected Smith to take him out early, or Klein to take Smith out once he gasses, and neither happened. So that's always good.
Yeah, not fun. Not a fun watch. It was kind of a beatdown. I was surprised it was a split. Did you guys think it would be a split?
I thought Klein won.
Yeah, I thought it was like a clear Klein win, but yeah, I don't know. Devontae Smith just looked kind of hesitant. I think after getting knocked out a few times and not knocking dudes out in the first round, he's just kind of trying to play with his game plans and shit. And I think he just came in with the wrong game plan. I think you just got to fucking go. If you're an athlete like that, you just got to go and knock the dude out. And if you lose, you lose.
Think he's going through the same thing that Alonzo Menafield went through.
Dude, they all go through all these knockout artists. They all go through it. So I don't know. They got to figure it out because he's good and he's got skills and he those kicks are nasty that he throws, but he just has to figure out a game plan moving forward.
Moving up to the flyweight division. You can definitely tell the people who bet on Tagine Ulanbekov because they cried robbery in this one. But Tim Elliott took a unanimous decision. I thought it was fine. That's just me. I bet Elliott, so obviously I think it's fine. But I mean, there was a minus 230 and a plus 200 in a fight that everyone knew was going to be close. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out.
Yep. Yeah, it was close. You gotta love Elliott cheating. That's how we like our fighters.
There's a lot of
always worth it. Always worth it in MMA to cheat. So
yes, it is.
Good on him. It worked out and worked out for us. So.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that you have to sleep outside or something like that? I feel like you get punished if you lose in that camp.
I think they've got a bear cave, and that's where they.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some investigation because I don't think Khabib looked fucking pissed the whole match. He looked like he wanted to jump in and murder him. So we'll see.
Well, you know why he was mad? They told him that there was a cage side buffet. I don't know if you've seen Khabib these days, brother, but he is eaten.
He's been at the buffet for sure. He's in Vegas. There's some good buffets there. I'm sure he stays there, clocks in a few hours.
Oh, he's probably just staying in Vegas because they got another guy coming in every week for him to corner. So
yeah, I'm sure Wes saw him there.
Next up, you just mentioned Khabib, and you mentioned this man earlier. He actually had a slick RNC. Cousin Umar. We were talking before the show about Paul from the Dogger Pass, one of our boys, and he's conducting the Cousin Umar train, and he looked good this time out. I mean, he's looked good every time out. He is good. But I'm always going to talk shit about these boring Russians.
Yeah, you and Lance were throwing away some money. Wes might even threw some money away on.
I didn't bet Keller.
Oh, no. Okay. I should know better.
I even picked Umar and Toutmaster.
Oh, there you go. You're smart. Yeah, I had Umar inside. Dude's nasty, man. He's got a pretty complete game. So
he's fire.
He can probably go pretty far in this weight division, which is awesome because it's awesome already. So
what is he, 135?
Yeah.
But they fought at 145, right?
Yeah, because Kelleher likes to fight at 45 during the pandemic. He's like, I'm not getting low.
Yeah. I mean, Kelleher gave up that choke. It looked like he just kind of gave up. He was like, all right, you can choke me.
It wasn't a good move. That's what it was.
Yeah. So I mean, Keller, he's my boy, but that was a big mismatch. So go Umar. We'll see how
we're all big boom guys on this one, but
I'm a boom guy.
This was not the fight for him. Next up, I mean, you had to be crazy. You had to be crazy to bet against Ukraine in this spot. I haven't actually watched the fight, so I don't know how it played out. But Marina Moroz won, and she was an underdog, and her sub prop was like plus 900. There was.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's dope. We should have
actually. I think it got up to 990 at dimes before the fight started.
That's tremendous.
I pansied out. I picked Moroz and just pansied out. I had other bets. I did pretty good on the card, but I was just like, I'll just pick her. It went exactly how you expect. Like, she dominated this fight. She just grappled, which she's been doing lately. So, and Agapova's terrible. They were making like bad. Dean Thomas was like, I've seen this all the time at the gym when this used to happen all the time. Like, fuck. I hope Moroz had a bunch of money on herself, because if that's what was happening in the gym all the time, then she probably would have been pretty confident in herself. That's
true. I didn't even think about it. If it's one of your old training partners, you might as well bet on yourself. Why not? Pull a little Calvin Ridley.
But you can do that in MMA, because this is a sport.
Yeah, you should look good.
You should be able to do that in the NFL too.
Yeah,
I mean, 100%. Like they were able to find out that he used this app and he logged in from here and all this.
They knew who he bet.
Then you know who he bet on too. Like if he bet on the other team, then fuck him.
Announce that.
If he bet on any other game that didn't involve him or his own team, that's fine.
It's so funny when you look at MMA. Like Krause has like a TikTok like betting. He gives picks, and then you look at NFL and this dude's losing like millions of dollars. Like that's like the worst bet of all time. He made like 18 parlay and ended up losing $1 million or like whatever, $11 million. Like, dude, get fucked. That's
like he had to come out and say, he's like, man, I bet $1,500, so I just lost a fucking how many millions of dollars for a $1,500 betting. Like,
I'm gonna have to pull a Calvin Ridley this weekend to get even from the card last week.
They've got the union that'll fight for him though, so
that's true. Maybe he'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, he could probably start his own podcast and get lots of people to listen, start dropping picks. Why not? He can do whatever in his spare time. He's got a whole year.
Yeah, he's 0-1 in picks. He's better than most.
I'm sure he'll get some. He'll get some good sponsors. You know, the ones that are going around.
Dude, it was parlays too. It wasn't even like it wasn't anything bad. Like nothing he was gonna win. He lost. if he won like a ton of money, then it'd be kind of sus. But he fucking lost.
Just donate and stuff.
Yeah.
Anything to add on Moraes and Agapova? I feel like we talked about it too long.
Yeah, no, Agapova sucks. She has no gas tank of a Tesla. So if anyone can extend on her, it's over.
Beautiful. Light heavyweight division, Nick Negreanu, Kenny Nunchucks. People have strong feelings about this fight and the decision. I do not. It sucked. End of story.
I'm trying to forget it happened. I mean, it's not that hard. Nothing.
Yeah. I was shocked. When they read the scorecard, that was like my jaw dropped. But at the same time, it's like, dude, this dude is so like he's so tall, and so first off, fuck tall dudes. No offense to anyone tall, respectfully, but I mean, dude, he's just like he should knock that dude out. He's just chilling on the side, pawing at him like this, like fucking all up in his eyes.
John Jones and him. Yep.
Like it was. I mean, he should be so much better, and he just kind of chills on the outside. So it wasn't
the big shocker. There was no draw card. How the fuck does that happen?
That's what I thought.
There's a point deduction in a super close fight, and there's somehow no draw card.
I thought at worst he would drawed or won, and he lost. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Crazy shit happens when you go to the cards in this sport. I think there might be a couple more spots on this card where there could be some point deductions and some wacky shit happening.
You can bet that, can't you? I saw someone betting.
Oh yeah, they got those lines on the Legals now.
And it's like a decent odds for it.
Yeah, it's like the point deduction is usually like plus 2,000, and then a draw is usually what, like plus 6?
6 to 8?
Maybe, maybe.
Depending on the fight.
We got to start doing tape study for fouls, man, and then we can
That's cash what I'm saying.
On them big tickets.
We'll just have a straight foul cast.
That's practically what we break down anyway. So who cheats more? Whoever cheats more.
You're right. This card, there's a ton of fouls. I might just spray foul in every fight. You probably come out on top.
Just draws up and down the card. That's what's gonna happen. Well. Maybe if the judges do their job properly, which they don't.
You never know.
Strawweight division, we had Marina Rodriguez take a split decision over Yan Xiaonan. Again, no thoughts. It was a close fight. Could have gone either way. There are a bunch of people crying robbery because they bet Yan.
Yep. Right. Yep. Same.
Close fight.
It was all right too. Decent fight.
All right.
And then we got to a quite enjoyable fight. The headliner of the prelims, Jalen Turner, got a finish 46 seconds into the second round over the fighting Ted Danson, Jamie Malaki. I don't know why he's from Boston, but he is. Jalen Turner looked good, and this first round was just nuts. That was some good fun. But yeah, I've underrated Turner.
Yeah, same. He fucking looked legit. He's one of the tall dudes that knows how to use his length, and he's got a ton of different weapons. So he was coming at fucking Jamie from a ton of different angles, and he's a tough dude too. Jamie was taking some fucking cracks. I thought it was gonna end in the first.
Lot.
Well, even when he got the takedown at the end of the first, I was like, yeah.
I was like,
now this tide's gonna turn.
The live line. I was like, all right, let's think about this. But then he got cracked in the second, and that was a nice way to end it. Like he's good. He's huge, but he's good.
Yeah, that's Turner's last 2 times out. He's been very impressive. This is most people don't know who Jamie Malarkey is, but he's decent. He's tough. He's got good hands. Like he's got really a decent game, and I bet him. It was a consensus, and Turner just too much.
Yeah, he's a tough dude. I had the over, and that was like the only over I've ever bet, and I'm officially retiring after that.
Tough go on that one. So close.
Was that the first consensus we've lost this year, Sean, or was there another one somewhere?
We lost one other one. I think we're 3-2 or something.
Oh, we suck. We should win one this week.
Frauds. Yep.
It's all right. We think we got a good one for you folks.
Oh, we got one.
Maybe.
Next up in the heavyweight division, kicking off the pay-per-view, we saw the woman beater get beat. It was beautiful. It was earlier than I expected. You guys warned me that it would be earlier than I expected. I had a little bet on the round 2. Ended up being round 1. We'll see if I make the same mistake this week. Little teaser for you folks. But yeah, the Spivak he's not great, but he's a serviceable heavyweight, which makes him like a top 10, top 15 heavyweight.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt when he's fighting a extremely flawed fighter, one who doesn't have cardio and doesn't wrestle at all.
Yeah, a heavyweight. That's what I said. He was fighting a heavyweight.
Yeah, fair. Like Spivak was like outweighed probably by 30, 40 pounds in there and was just manhandling him in the clinch. That's fucking bad. We gave Hardy too much credit. I thought he could survive the first. If I thought I gave him a shot to win in the first, he wasn't even close. Didn't really land anything at all, and then he was done. It was over.
I don't even know
if Hardy
practices. Like, I'm sure he seems like he comes to the gym like twice a week, and then I mean, he came in like overweight as fuck. I think he had to cut 30
pounds.
Yep.
Like, dude, if you're in camp, there's no shot you're working hard that, like, I know you're a big dude, but you should be closer than 30 pounds. Like, it's spring break's right around the corner. Let's go, dude. I'm on a diet. You gotta get there too. So I don't know. Like, he just got tossed around.
Yeah, that was bad.
Did you see that video of him like coming to? He was like, he had no clue where he was. It was awesome.
I don't know. It almost felt like, was he getting hit that bad? I thought he
I didn't think he was.
And
then I saw the video.
Know.
He looked like he blacked out, came out of blackout, and was like, all right, where am I?
That's the next BKFC heavyweight champion right there.
Yeah. Apparently they pay pretty well. Chad Mendes. I don't know if they actually get paid, but they promise to pay you pretty well.
Wait, do you think that Chad Mendes got paid more for his fight in BKFC or to send out that tweet saying that he got paid more, than in all of his UFC fights?
Did you guys watch that Mendes fight, though? He looked fucking sick. That was
he's back on the good stuff, man.
Dude, I was all about it. That's my boy.
Yeah, he smashed that dude, as expected. I think he was like a minus 500 favorite, but he hadn't fought in a long time and came out and looked good.
Some dude's got it. That's all it is.
He's also short squad, so I'm always on his on the train.
Love Chad Mendes, except when he's fighting Aldo. Any other time, big Mendes guy.
Yeah.
Another fun fight. 170 pounds. Kevin Holland dropping down, taking on Howboy. Howboy just looking to get some money to feed his 74 kids, and he looked great early. I bet Howboy here. I'm like the only person on planet Earth because I got plus 270, and by the time the fight went off, he was like plus 400. Man, he fucking ragdolled Holland in the first round, and I mean he didn't even quit so much as got clipped, and eventually he kind of stopped fighting back. But Holland's going to have the exact same problems at 170 that he did at middleweight, except there's more grapplers at 170. So have fun, Kevin Holland.
True.
Yeah, that's tough. Cowboy was fighting smart. He was striking clean, and then that chin just showed up. That's unfortunate.
Looked like a genius for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't have any cardio. He doesn't have any cardio because he's been banging in Brazil for the past probably like 3 months.
He didn't even look tired in this one though. Like,
he did look good in the first round. I was worried. Holland was like my biggest bet, and I was like, okay, I might be fucked here. And in the second round, he looked a lot better. But first round, I was definitely worried, and he looked good. But I think that's usually how most cowboy fights go. He comes out a little strong. He's got it. Then his legs go. So for obvious reasons, being a father, it's tiring. I hear. I mean, we don't have Wes here tonight.
Exactly. Notice that the two people on the podcast who have kids not here tonight.
Worn out.
I mean,
worn out.
she's. I don't know what else
Wrap
you need
it
to
up.
say. Yep.
Wrap
it up. Is that a
Featherweight
sponsorship right there? Trojan? Could we get a Trojan sponsorship right there?
We could launch Trojan into the stratosphere just like we did for Dude Wipes, man. Dude Wipes used to be nothing. They sponsored the podcast, and
dude, why not?
Look at them now.
I was like, what, 2015 maybe?
Yeah, it was something.
Really?
On the rise.
Dude Wipes, dude. Dude Wipes is actually legit.
We actually had a sponsor with Dude Wipes.
Okay, we're gonna have to work
for
on
like a year.
They paid for us to go to Nashville or our tickets or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
There we go.
So,
all right,
yeah.
Trojans
now
up
you
next.
now you know you're on a podcast with some real ones.
Trojans up next. I got some dudes in the office.
You got some guys on the line there for Trojan.
I can hook it up for you guys.
Somebody who should definitely wrap it up is Bryce Mitchell, because that man should not procreate. That's for sure. But he sure beat the shit out of Edson Barbosa in this fight. And this was the first time that I've been impressed by Bryce Mitchell, and I don't know what to say. I was impressed.
Yeah,
I don't want to be impressed. But
Turns out you don't need any brain cells to be a smart fighter.
He almost knocked him out. That was kind of wild.
Dude, he's
first round. I was like, oh, fuck.
He's got a sneaky overhand, man.
Yeah,
he's
and
clipped a couple people with that guy. And
he's got to be farm strong as fuck. He needs to get sponsorships by all the farm shit.
Oh yeah,
John Deere,
fucking
all
Carhartt.
They got to be all over this dude. He's a living legend, and he gave half his paycheck to like a children's hospital. This guy.
And then Dana told him not to. He's like, oh, okay. That's like 2 Dana blackjack hands. Dana's like, nah, fuck it. I got it.
Yeah, Dana said he got it. Yeah, that was good.
I just won't tip my waitresses tonight.
Good. And then he was like shilling some like crypto. Did you guys look at that crypto?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, all right. I got to get in on
that.
this.
Seems like it's up your alley. We might need to get the Watershow crypto review.
I might have to get a little bit.
You need to toss that in the next binge weekly. I need some information.
100%. I might have to do a little giveaway. Why not?
And then, of course, after all of that and actually building up.
Brad died.
Where'd he go?
He's gone. There's too much excitement for that RDA beatdown on Mike.
No, is that the next fight?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We don't have to talk about it. We can skip.
Yeah, it was. it got a little sad.
Dude, that was my biggest bet of the night. Was the under 4.5 on that fucking fight, and it was honestly, all things considered, like how much money I had on it, and like how many times they should have stopped the fight. I was like livid. I almost jumped off my roof. I was like, this is not good.
That one's a tough go. That's a tough one. When you get that many opportunities and don't get it, it's like it was just not meant to be. The thing
that sucks is they're not gonna ever, like, the coach is never gonna stop it.
No, because it's MMA. No,
and the fighter's not gonna say no because he doesn't want to look like a pussy, right? Yep. It's your fucking job as a ref to be like, all right.
The ref or the doctor, they both had opportunities.
I see what's going on here. This guy doesn't want to be like look like a pussy, but if I have the power to stop this fight, I'm gonna stop the fucking fight. But he never did. And the worst part is RDA went like easy on him in the fifth round.
Felt bad for him after just absolutely manhandling him.
I kind of felt bad, so I just let it go because like he said he would stop the fight in 30 seconds. If like RDA was like putting it on him.
Bryce shut you down. Dude, shut you down.
You see what happens when you make fun of people on the right in this political climate.
They get you. They'll get you wherever they can.
Apparently, when your laptop pops up with the thing that says it's about to restart, it means it.
Yeah,
So,
it's going for it.
That's what
There's
happened to
no
me last
stopping.
time. That's what happened to me last time I was on the show, and I had to call. Are you on your phone now?
yeah.
Fucking you can't keep hitting ignore, Brad. Eventually it gets tired and it says, no, I'm restarting in the middle of the podcast.
Technology.
It's fair. I'll be back on the computer in a second, but you guys continue with.
I don't know if there's much more to say.
Yeah,
Aaron's obviously and has some PTSD for not hitting that under 4.5.
Were you on that under at all, Brad?
I wasn't on the under, but I
thought that was just like a slam dunk play. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It's 4.5. I thought it would have been like 3.5 or 2.5. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like Moicano was like off a plane, had to cut whatever weight, like probably not like in the best shape. And RDA was like was going for what? Who's he supposed to fight? Fiziev?
Fiziev.
Yeah, I was like, dude, he's gonna. And then I think it should have been stopped probably 10 different times and it didn't get stopped. And I wanted to like bash my TV. And I almost did. So that like my least favorite bet of all time. And like every day I wake up and there's someone like tweeting about it, and I just want to like smash my computer.
We need to get to Saturday quick, so then people will forget about that fight, and you never have to hear about it again.
Talking about, like TMZ wrote about it, and someone else is tweeting about it. I was like, dude, get this shit off my timeline right now.
Love it.
That is going to turn into your Paul Craig sub against Jamal Hill.
Yep. Solid one.
It's brutal. I'll never want to talk about it again.
Let's forget about it.
Let's forget it happened.
Yeah, I don't have any of my my screens up or anything yet. So if you guys want to just handle transitioning over to this week's card, if we're done with the recap, then that would be tremendous.
Yeah, you know we got to start out with a heater in the light heavyweight division. The Teflon Don Tafon Nchukwi taking on something called Azamat Murzakanov, who you know is gonna get mushed like a motherfucker on Saturday because everybody, all the sweaties are all over this guy. You got anything on this one, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, contender series fights, I don't really like to back at all. But yeah, I mean, this guy looks good and powerful and stuff. He's also supposedly 32, but I think he's probably 40. He's
32 and his hairline is worse than mine.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he looks good, but I mean, how much can you tell from the contender series? I know these contender series guys, they haven't had much luck transitioning to the UFC. So, and he didn't get drafted into the Russian army, so he can't be that dope. He's still fighting. And Nchukwi, he's still getting better. He's a little raw. I think the odds are probably right. I think it looks like Murzakanov is -180, -170, and Nchukwi is +150. So, yeah, I don't know. Nchukwi, I watch a few of his fights. Likes to push up against the cage. He's got good elbows, and you know, these dudes that are just like from Africa, they're hard to knock out. These guys are built different, dude. They like had to walk miles to get water and shit when they were kids. So, yeah, I don't know. If I think I'll probably pick Murzakanov, but I think just the odds are right.
Yeah, I'm not betting this fight. I'll probably pick Nchukwi in Toutmaster. Like, obviously he's been in he's fought a bunch in the UFC. Like, I know the strength of competition is not great for him, but he's looked all right doing it. He's got super long arms. I don't know if he really uses them. He's got a big reach advantage in this fight, but I don't know if it'll matter. He throws a decent amount of volume. He throws a decent amount of volume for being at this weight class. So I don't know. I expect this to kind of be a close fight. So I don't mind picking the dog in that.
And he's getting Nchukwi, I think he's more propensity to just improve more. He's still pretty raw, and I think he can get better. And he's powerful too. So Murzakanov, if he makes it deep, who knows how his gas tank is? He looks like someone who enjoys the early finishes, and then after that might fall off a cliff. So, but I think I think I agree with that.
Bradley?
Yeah, I gotta go with the contenders fade in this one. I mean, this Murzakanov guy, I know he's a Russian who actually has some knockouts. He doesn't just beat everybody by decision, and people seem impressed by him, but he basically has one punch. He's got an overhand left that he throws. So, I mean, the first thing is the Teflon Don is a southpaw, so that's already going to take that weapon away a little bit. Teflon Don, his head is a fucking cinder block.
That these dudes are hard to knock out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's going to be easy to knock out. So I think this fight's going to get dragged out a bit, and I think that I've heard people that are impressed by the fact that Murzakanov noticed the can in that name. I mean, that doesn't just pop up just as a coincidence. People are impressed that he out-grappled Guto in a cinch. Which, if you remember, that's the guy who was in the UFC super young because he was talented, or maybe not the UFC, but and then had to run away from kickboxing because he couldn't grapple at all. And I don't want to spoil my reputation too much, but I watched that fight, and Guto in a cinch swept this man. That's not good. If he can sweep you, then you're not good at grappling. So I at least think that the Teflon can hold him up against the cage, tire him out a little bit. We've never seen him go 10 rounds. And that's what he does a lot of the time anyway, because he's so fucking slow. Like, this dude moves like he's in quicksand. So I'll take Teflon to win a decision here. I hope it's as ugly as it could possibly be. Speaking of something,
lovely.
What was that?
What's the total on that? Is it a 1.5-er? Yeah, it looks like it is.
Yeah, probably. You can get 2.5 at dimes, but for the most part, it's a 1.5.
Yeah,
minus 165.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, all his finishes are in the first round. So if he gets dragged out, it'll be interesting. But you're right, Teflon's chin is fucking cinder block. So we'll see.
What's Nchukwi round 3? Come on, that's got to be a number.
I don't even think that's out yet.
That's not out.
Oh, shame.
Brutal.
Shame.
They're on to us, dude.
I hit an Nchukwi decision. It was around plus 300 or plus 400 against Jamie Pickett, and it's around the same in this one. And I might have to sprinkle that a little bit because
that's not bad.
Never sold on these contenders guys until they actually show it against a warm body.
100%.
Speaking of a fight that is going to look ugly, we have Guido Cannetti taking on Chris Moutinho. I mean, this is like a CES undercard.
You gone?
Uh-oh.
No.
Did he get rebooted again?
He got rebooted twice? Dude, he's gotta get into the computer.
Man, now the Guido is coming after Brad. He's got all the haters are out tonight.
All right.
Aaron, are you touching this fight between the Cannetti, and the guy that absolutely got his shit wrecked by Sean O'Malley last time out?
I am going to be in Lake Tahoe this weekend, so I'll probably be pretty drunk. So I may just be firing at everything, which is never a good idea, by the way. Caution on that. But if I were to bet, I would take Moutinho. I think he's actually like a decent fighter. I know he got beat up pretty bad by Sean O'Malley, but your first fight being against Sean O'Malley is kind of brutal. And Cannetti's just fucking old, dude. I like betting against boomers, and 42 years old. And Moutinho, actually, I watched a couple of his CES fights, and he looks pretty good. He comes forward. He does a lot of shit that will convince the judges that he's winning, even if he's not winning. So other than getting punched in the face 200 times, I think, was the last fight. But I obviously don't think Guido is of that caliber. And I think they're like, all right, this guy took a beating last fight, so we're gonna go ahead and give him not a layup, but a fight he can win. And I think he can. I don't love the odds. Obviously, don't want to lay a kind of 150 with. I don't want to lay much with, a CES fighter, but I still think he should win. And Cannetti's getting old. He's a boomer, and I think I'm gonna take Moutinho.
I don't know how Guido Cannetti is still in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's 1-4 in his last 5. And his wins are brutal. Diego Rivas hasn't fought since he lost to Cannetti. Hugo Viana, he's on
he lost
a
as
pretty
like a
rough
-2,000 favorite in LFA once.
Yeah. He's terrible, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think Moutinho is anything special, but I think he's probably good enough here just because of how bad Cannetti is. I'll pick him in Toastmaster, but not touching this.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in this fight. This is such a low-level fight that, like, either guy could get finished because both guys have been finished a bunch of times in their careers. They've been knocked out. They've been submitted. Moutinho doesn't seem like he has a lot of finishing power, but he seems like he's going to run forward, and I think that's going to mean there's exchanges. So, I don't know. Cannetti inside at +400 or whatever the hell it is right now.
Yes. Is it +400? What's Moutinho inside? Moutinho inside
+150 or something?
Yeah, it's like plus.
It's plus that one's 200. Not as high.
Yeah, it's not.
Which I don't get because most of Moutinho's wins are by decision, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just fucking Cannetti being 200 years old.
So
dude.
Bad.
Honestly, he looked better in his.
He looked all right in his last fight
than any other fight he's had in the UFC.
Yeah. So maybe he's back. Maybe he found some wonder drugs.
I think he's smuggling some of the Brazilian mountain yams over to Argentina, and he looks like they call Pedro Munoz the young Punisher, but this dude looks like a little John Bernthal. So I think he's got something going on here.
I will say, if I look like him when I'm 42, I'll be pretty happy. He's pretty yoked, pretty jacked for a 42-year-old.
Yeah.
So
short 42-year-old muscled up dude.
Dude, is that my destiny, dude?
If I look like him when I'm 42, I'll be happy.
I feel pretty good,
yeah. What's next, Sean?
What's next is a awesome fight between the Lung Ambulance.
Oh, Lung I am.
And Cody Brundage, famous for just getting absolute blue balled by a Diaz, bro. Aaron, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, I kind of want to just like honorary bet on Cody Brundage, because if it wasn't for him like completely blowing his contender series against Thick Willie, we would never have Thick Willie. Because right? You guys remember that? He was like on top, just got reversed and like beaten the shit out of, and then that's how we got Thick Willie. So I feel like that's due for a little sprinkle. What are his odds? You
can get plus money.
He's the underdog.
Money.
Oh yeah,
plus
dude.
Money.
I'm definitely gonna bet on him for sure. I mean, Dolce's all right. He throws fucking bombs from like the Las Vegas Strip though. Like you can see those coming. And I'll take the wrestler over the judo guy. Especially if they allowed us for the greatness that was Thick Willie. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Brundage. He's a pretty good wrestler. I don't see why you can't beat Lung Ambulance. So yeah, I'll take Brundage here.
Go for it, Sean.
Yeah, the Lung Ambulance's cardio was actually kind of decent last time. He didn't completely fall apart, losing a decision to Barrio. It was much better than what I expected. He's he's okay, but I don't know. It's a weird fight. Brundage, it wasn't great what happened in the Maximov fight, but when he was up, he was lighting that dude up. So I think Brundage has decent hands. He might be able to offensive wrestle a little bit in this fight. I'll probably pick him. This is another fight. There's so many of these like close fights, and I just don't want any part of them. It's kind of sad because you could get some small underdogs here or something, but I'm trying to stay away from this stuff.
I feel like it could be the exact same fight as the Will Knight fight. He's like on top, gets rolled over, and just gets
rolled and then smashed.
Yeah, that's the only fucking thing that's hesitant. But I didn't realize he was the dog. I thought he would be like a slight favorite. So I'm surprised I'm getting people were betting on Dolce. But you're right, his cardio has gotten a lot better. The last fight looked at least serviceable. So
yep.
I'm with Aaron on this one. I think the thick Willie angle sold it for me, but
that's a good
the fact that the lung ambulance, like, he looks like he should be able to finish everybody, but he's not a finisher. Like, he even looks like he's throwing his punches hard, but they land and they don't seem to have an effect on most people, or they just don't land at all. And I don't know. I kind of like Brundage in this one. I think people overblow the Maximov fight because he had the one round where he just like took his back and had his back for pretty much the entire round.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's not like he was beating the shit out of him or anything. So I don't know. I think Brundage has a shot in this one. I think he's got more volume on the feet. I think he's a pretty good wrestler and scrambler. I mean, if you want to give Maximov one thing, yeah, it's the fact that he can actually grapple a little bit, and Brundage was able to hang with him. Had him in trouble with Kimura, I think. So yeah, I'll if this keeps climbing, it looks like it's going to. I think I might take a shot on Brundage. This will be another shitty fight that I have a bet on.
Enjoy it.
Brundage by sub is 6-1. That's pretty good. He can slap some subs on there.
Actually, now that I think of it, if the sub the attempt that he had on Maximov was a Kimura, Marcus Perez also had a pretty deep Kimura on lung ambulance. So
did he?
Maybe,
I'm betting that.
Maybe there's going to be a Brundage win by Kimura in this.
I'm writing that down. I'm definitely taking that.
Yeah, we shall see. Another shitty fight that I might have a bet on. Women's flyweight division. We've got Miranda Fear the Maverick, worst nickname ever, as a minus 300 plus favorite on short notice, I believe, also.
Yep.
Yeah, short notice. Oh, yep.
Yep.
Taking on Sabina Mazo, who sucks. No question. But she's been training in the garage.
Yeah. Mazo has?
She's got the X-Factor.
No,
in the garage.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And she's plus 260 training in the garage against a chick who's going to want to kickbox with her because she wants to kickbox with everybody. And when Mazo's weakness is getting taken down and being laid on.
Incredible.
This writes itself. Yeah. I don't know what you want to do.
What do you got, Aaron?
So let me get this straight. Mazo is in the garage now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say Maverick all day, like easy, but now that we've entered this loophole, I don't know. I mean, I think I was gonna say Maverick's gonna ragdoll Mazo, but after what I saw Wellington Turman turn into Gordon Ryan against his last opponent, armbar from guard, like who knows what they're doing at that spot. So I think I give Mazo a little bit more credit now, but I'll probably still pick Maverick, but I'll feel like an idiot if Mazo wins. Maybe she's got some up her sleeve. But yeah, I mean, Glover is basically like the Jackie Moon of MMA right now. He's like absolutely crushing it as a coach / fighter. So I think people give Krause a little too much credit and don't give Glover enough. So if he turns Mazo into a winner, then he's got to go in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, I'm taking Maverick, but good luck to Mazo. I'd love to see her win.
Sean?
I'm probably gonna pick Mazo in Toutmaster. I think Brad's talked about it in the past. I think basically, save for a couple opportunities, if you just generally take dogs in women's fights, I feel like you're pretty up. I think Maverick can grapple in this fight, and that's gonna be bad if she's stupid enough just to strike, then this becomes a lot closer fight. So I'm hoping that that's what happens. I do worry that she might be able to toss Mazo on the ground and kind of lay on her. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Mazo. Is this going to be the same thing that happened with Moraes, where I pick a fighter and she I don't bet her and she wins? I hope so for Brad's sake.
Yeah. Is Maverick gonna wrestle her?
I mean, she grapples.
I think she usually does. Yeah, I think she's a grappler. Or I mean, I'm looking at these props right now, and the numbers are crazy.
Like she got absolutely bodied last time, but that's just because Blanchfield is just so much stronger. And before that, through and through grappler. Yeah,
before that, she shot one takedown against Macy Barber.
Yep.
The wrestling was basically even against Jillian Robertson, who we know can get bullied by anybody that's physically strong. And she didn't shoot any takedowns against Liana Jojua, who, I understand that one because she sucks.
She got smashed by an Instagram. She smashed an Instagram chick.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
But she seems pretty comfortable standing. I think that Mazo's probably a bit better standing. And honestly, when Mazo's not throwing kicks against Alexis Davis, she can actually defend takedowns. I remember that fight because I wanted to bet Alexis Davis, but I couldn't because she's Alexis Davis. And then I was like, fuck, I should have bet Alexis Davis. And every takedown she got was because Mazo threw a kick and she caught it. So, don't throw kicks and you're probably okay here. It's going to turn into a close striking battle because they're both always in close decisions. So I'll take the plus 260 dog in that one and see where it gets me in women's MMA.
Yeah.
Here's one that I feel like we got some thoughts on. Featherweight division. Damon the Leech Jackson, who is apparently a wrestling and cardio god because he was able to get this. Wait, it's shocking, folks. He was able to get on top of Charles Rosa and control him for the better part of 15 minutes. Nobody ever has done that before to Charles Rosa. Possibly the most decisionable man in MMA history. But Damon Jackson, after doing it, man, he's on a different level. And he has taken on the Jewian Kamuela Kirk. I don't know if he's actually Jewish or not, but I heard a rumor that he is, which makes him even more awesome.
Yeah. Good enough.
That's all I need. Sean, kick it off for us in this one.
Yeah, I guess it's hard for people to kind of gauge Damon Jackson. That domination of Charles Rosa does not hold up in retrospect, in my opinion. When Rosa just gets absolutely dummied by Derek Minner and TJ Brown. I knew the dude's a black belt allegedly, and he's able to get some subs early in his career, but man, he's just so easily dominated by pretty much anybody that has a bit of grappling skill. So Jackson, he did what he was supposed to in that fight, I guess. probably should have finished them, but I guess Rosa's tough. I don't know. Kamuela Kirk, he did get taken down a bunch of times against Amir Kwani, who I think he's okay. He's got some,
he's
an underrated wrestler. I'll give him that. So I just think Kirk's going to be good enough. Like I don't think Jackson's going to be able to dominate. And if he isn't just absolutely running over a guy, what's that cardio going to look halfway through the second, in the start of the third? I think Kirk can at least take 2 rounds and maybe gets a late finish. I'm not sure. So I bet him -105. He's the dog now almost. It's kind of crazy. I played that for a unit.
Aaron, we're back in the boys this weekend, right?
Yeah, 100%. My very own brand for me to bet on the Hawaiian, the Jawaiian, whatever you want to call them. So don't really have a choice. Kind of in too deep. Actually, I was saying I haven't won a bet on the Hawaiian in a while, but I did go to Cage Warriors last Friday. It was in San Diego, and I bet on Ray Cooper's brother, who knocked the shit out of some AKA Russian dude. Nice. And he was like plus, I think 160. So I might actually be on a
heater started.
Heater.
That
started.
That sounds like a heater.
I don't want to brag, but yeah, I think the Jawaiian's going to get it done. Talk about a tough first fight. Makwan in your first fucking fight in the UFC, like that dude's good. He's a good wrestler. I think he's probably a better wrestler than Damon Jackson is, an MMA wrestler, and he's a lot more dangerous on the ground. So I don't really give you much credit for beating Charles Rosa, especially if you're a wrestler, because Rosa kind of just chills on his back. So if you know how to defend subs, you're probably going to win against Rosa if you can take it to the ground, because he's very comfortable on his back. And yeah, I mean, Kamu's going to piece him up. I think we're going to get a little KO. And whatever his coach is going to be really loud the whole fight. What's his coach? Fucking the Fortis coach. He's a loud dude. So
he'll
be safe.
He's safe.
Saud.
Good coach, but I think he's gonna be a little disappointed in his fight this weekend. He's going against the Hawaiian Wave, and I think he's gonna drown. So we got Kamu by KO this week.
I like that. I think that can happen basically at any point in this fight. There's been some stuff going around that's saying, Damon Jackson is this great pressure grappler and he's super durable, and like I'm wondering if people are talking about the same Damon Jackson that I've seen fight for a decade now. This dude can get melted, absolutely melted, and it's not just the Topuria fight. It's going back to when he was in PFL. It's going back to when he was in the UFC the first time. Honestly, the wrestling wasn't that easy for him against Charles Rosa. It's just that once you get into any sort of scramble, nobody has a better ability to lose a scramble than Charles Rosa. That man will always end up on the bottom, no matter what happens. So, of course, he got on top position in that fight. But, man, if you look at Kirk's fight against Amir Khani, I was actually impressed by his takedown defense. I think the first time that he got taken down in that fight, Amir Khani basically had to hit like a wrestling-style T-bone suplex on him to get him to the ground. So I don't think it's going to be easy for Jackson. Jackson's also got those like weird bony shoulders, and I really hate that about him. So
those are the
nothing
worst.
to do with the fight. I just don't like it. It's weird. Creeps me out. But he's not durable. Doesn't have great cardio. If he doesn't get a finish very early in fights, he usually tends to fade. I know people want to say that about Kirk because of his fights, but Amir Khani, his cardio has looked way better in recent fights. And then on Contender Series, he gassed against Billy Q. But, like, it's fucking Billy Q. Yeah. Everybody gasses against Billy Q. So I like Kirk here. I think he can get it done early. I think he can win a decision. I think he can get it done late. There's a lot of options. Massive striking advantage for him. So I got some mook bet on this one. I took the worst of the line. I got some Kirk at -140 because I thought people were seeing the same thing that I was seeing, and it was going to keep going that way. And then when it came back down to even money, I got some -105. So I feel all right about the -105. Don't feel great about the -140, even though it's going to win. But Camuela Kirk is the consensus bet of the week. That's the one.
I also brought my puka shells out for this week just for him. So these are lucky. So I think we got in the bag.
Absolutely. Bantamweight division up next. We've got Trevin Jones, the man who is way better than his record, taking on Javex Whack-A-Mole. Sorry, that's a different game. Javex Basharat. I've never played Basharat. Have you guys played Basharat before? I've only done the other one.
No, not me.
That Baccarat? I've never played either of those, if that's the same thing.
Baccarat that's wild. It's like blackjack, but it's only like the last number that counts.
Have you played it?
No.
I've watched it.
Yeah.
But
I always, whenever I'm in Vegas, all my boys play it. I just can't fucking figure out what's going on. But I'm a 21 guy. I'm a blackjack guy, craps guy.
Yeah.
Smart.
Gotta be a craps guy.
Gotta.
Sean, what's going on in this fight?
Yeah. I know the Baccarat looked good on Contender Series. He was fighting a 41-year-old coming off 2.5 years almost layoff. So he did show some skill, but a big grain of salt. Trevin Jones, he has been taken down in some fights, but he's stuffed a decent amount of takedowns and is able to reverse some shit. So I'm not sure how much Baccarat's going to be able to take down Jones and kind of lay on him. It is concerning a bit because it has happened before, but I'll probably pick Jones. Another one that I don't want any money on. I'll just be happy if it hits in Toastmaster.
Aaron.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Baccarat, and he does look pretty good. He does mix it up really well, but it's always hard for me to tell how good these fighters are that are coming off the Contender Series. I think he's undefeated, right? And
yeah.
Trevin Jones, yeah, he's all right, but he's one of those fighters that I think relies too much on the knockout, and then if he doesn't get it, he kind of gasses out. And Basharat does look like he has the propensity to kind of hold this dude up against the cage, burn his gas. I think in Jones's last fight against Rachmanov, or is that his name?
Kakramanov.
Yeah, that dude. Backgammon, whatever.
Yeah,
he got, just kind of his gas got burnt the whole fight, and he just like kind of held him up against the cage. And I think if you're gonna fight Jones, it's probably the best way to do it. Otherwise, I don't think you should go in there and try to trade with him. And I think Basharat can do that. So I will pick Basharat, but yeah, it's tough for me to tell how good these Contender Series dudes are. So I don't think I'll bet it.
I'm not going to think too much about this one. Also, I'm sorry to people in the chat this week. I'm on my phone now, and
you look good though, and you're not lagging. You're crystal clear and no lag on the phone, which is funny.
What kind of phone
dedicated
you got,
laptop.
Dude?
It's some iPhone something.
It's looking good.
My iPhone, I swear, is like old as hell.
I'm old. It's got an X at the start. I don't know if it's an XS, an XR, and
that's the one all the
whatever
Instagram models use, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I look great. So maybe I'll record on the phone now and just have all the stuff on the laptop, so the laptop doesn't fuck me over.
Multitasking. There you go.
Once you got that Trojan sponsorship, you'll be able to get all sorts of idiots going.
Yeah, I need to charge more than $1.75 an hour for my tape study, and then I can buy a new laptop. That's what we're gonna do. But I apologize for the people in the chat. I'm seeing your comments, but they're way after you're sending them in, so I can't really get to them in context. As far as this Basharat guy, man, he has massive fraud potential. It looks like he just beat a bunch of frauds, like a bunch of 0-0 guys and really shitty guys on his way up. And then he started fighting good fighters. But the guys that he's fought that have good records, all of their wins are all like 1-10 fighters, 2-39 fighters, 5-14 fighters. So,
lovely.
I mean, he's fought nobody still. Even the guy that he fought on Contender Series, as Sean already said, beside being a racist, because I'm not sure if you guys remember that the weigh-in thing where he was the one that called Basharat a terrorist and all that.
Oh, really?
Love it.
He was that guy. So
I remember
he's the reason that Lance and I have to deal with so much anti-Semitism in our lives, just because he's a fucking dickhead. But that guy was a fraud too. I mean, he was 16-0 apparently, but
was he 40? Did you say he was 40 years old? Did someone say that?
Yeah.
41.
Oh wow.
41. I think he like lied about his age and everything too. Like that dude was an absolute scumbag. Bad at fighting, also it turns out.
Bad at fighting.
So I just think that Trevin Giles has actually fought some good dudes. He belongs in the UFC. His record's not great. He's had a bunch of split decisions, stuff like that go against him. But I think he's fought good fighters and he's fought them relatively well. He's got good finishing potential. We really don't know what to expect out of Basharat once he faces any sort of resistance. So I'll take the Contender Series fade here again with Trevin Jones as a plus 130 underdog. Moving on up, women's flyweight division. I think we can wait. We might have the inside track on this one because is JJ Aldrich the one whose mom is an OnlyFans model to finance her career?
No.
It's, sadly, no.
Sadly. No. What's her name? I fucking forget her name. I used to chat with her.
Of course you did. Of course you used to chat with her.
You used to chat with her until you discovered her mom, and then you started chatting with her mom.
I was like, all right, I got to talk to this chick. This chick's the goat. I got some funny conversations with her. She's like really into manifesting, so I was like, all right, can you teach me how?
Nice.
But whose fucking mom is that? Is it? Oh, it's Aspen Ladd's mom.
Aspen Ladd.
There we go. Mom. She's great. If she's watching, hey, Aspen Ladd's mom, what's going on?
I'm sure she is. She definitely is.
I'll drop the link later on.
But in this fight, we got JJ Aldrich taking on Jillian Robertson. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably going to pick the fake Canadian in this one, which is sad. But, man, this line seems like it's getting awful short for JJ Aldrich, who is not good at fighting. Sean?
Yeah, but neither is Robertson. I don't get many opportunities anymore. I used to be just absolutely hammering women's overs at just like minus 200 cheap prices. So I don't get many opportunities anymore. I had to take advantage of this one. I know Robertson can snatch up some subs. It happens. On the feet, I don't think there's much chance of her getting a finish. And Aldrich is not a finisher. Like, she has no finishes in the UFC. So I like if Aldrich doesn't get caught, I think this sails to decision. I think Aldrich will do all right in this fight because I think she can dictate where this is going to be. If she wants to offensive wrestle, it gets a bit dicey, armbar from guard, But I think she can stuff Robertson's takedowns, and she's probably the better striker. So I think it's a close fight. I'll pick Aldrich, and I have a unit on over 2.5 at minus 120, and goes to decision at plus 100 for a unit.
Aaron?
Yep. No, I feel the same way. Robertson's all right, but once she kind of runs out of ideas, if she doesn't get a sub, she's like kind of lost. So, and Aldrich, yeah, I mean, not a super. She's not a great fighter, but she's all right. She's decent in most places. She's got good cardio, and I'm just kind of confused why the over unders 120. So it does kind of get me a little
they're banking on Robertson grabbing a sub.
They really are
inside 12 and a half minutes because Aldrich ain't finished it.
Yeah, and I mean Robertson's all right. She's definitely a good grappler for women's MMA. But I think Aldrich. I think at this point, if you're going up against Jillian Robertson, you know what she's gonna fucking do. So if you lose, like
that's on you.
You're bad.
You're very, very bad.
Like I mean, you know what she's gonna do. She's not gonna fucking beat the shit out of you. She's gonna try to grapple you and grab a neck, grab a fucking arm. But I mean, that's all you should be doing on these 3 months that you're preparing for the fight. So I'd hope that Aldrich would be able to do that. So yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I think over 2.5 is a good look because Aldrich also is not a finisher at all. So I like that look a lot.
Yeah, I'm still going to pick Robertson in this fight. I think that Aldrich's best win in her MMA career is a split decision against Courtney Casey, who Robertson dominated. So I feel like that's kind of telling because both of those fights were pretty recent. But yeah, I also like that over. I mean, even if you want to be a coward and parlay the over 1.5, which is, I think only Dimes has it. I don't know. There's probably some other sites that have it now, but it's minus 230, which that seems cheap even. You can throw that with Ankalaev or whatever in the main event and probably get relatively close to even money. I just think that Aldrich isn't good. Anytime she's fought anybody remotely decent, she's lost, usually a decision. Anytime she fights anybody who is on Invicta, which apparently there was an Invicta tonight. I didn't watch
Hell
it.
Yeah.
I saw that.
She'll beat the people that are on that Invicta card. So yeah, I'll take Robertson decision. I think Robertson decision is like plus 375 too.
That's not bad because I don't.
Yeah. Anyway, 170 pounds, welterweight. We got Matt Semelsberger. He sounds like a Jew, and he's taking on AJ Fletcher, who saw him on Contender Series. He seems fun, at least. I think he's going to put on some entertaining fights. Sean?
Yeah, I mean, he has, he's undefeated, 9-0. He has, I think, 6 first-round finishes, and half of them are by sub, half of them by KO. Dude's bricked up for a white dude.
Nickname is the Ghost, so he knows. He knows. He's self-aware.
That's good. That's a good thing to have as a fighter. I don't know if Semelsberger is good. I mean, he beat he knocked out a fraud in 15 seconds last time out. I don't know
Martin Cano?
Yeah. He's a big favorite. I might pick the dog. I might go dog picking on the old Tout Master. We'll see.
Aaron?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and grab some of the dog. I know. I mean, if you looked at his Tapology or not his share dog.
Share dog?
Bricked up. He looks like a house, dude. He looks awesome. I mean, good for him. He looks like he's ready for spring break. He looks like he's about to go to Panama City. But yeah, I mean, Semelsberger. It's not like Semelsberger's like that much more experienced than him. Like, yeah, he's gotten more UFC fights, but I know Fletcher's probably been beaten up on cans, but he does look pretty good, and the number is also pretty enticing. It's not like it's like a pick'em. It's like you're getting plus 200-ish on Fletcher. So, and he looks pretty solid. I know he comes out of that Louisiana gym with Crater, and those dudes are tough. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably going to take a unit on Fletcher here, and he's also much shorter and bricked up. So, I gotta support the boys. So go Fletcher.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the 5'9" or 5'10" guy, which means he's probably like 5'7",
Right.
against the 6'1" guy.
Dude, that picture is all time. I might make that my my fucking Twitter profile picture.
I think that Fletcher's got a shot here. I think Semelsberger is a bit of a fraud. He's knocked out two very chinny guys in as quick as you can possibly knock people out in MMA fights, and then he beat Carlton F-. So those are his wins in the UFC. In 2018, October of 2018, so not that long ago, he got knocked out in round 3 against a 0-0 at the time Jerome Featherstone.
Solid.
Yeah. Since then, the vaunted Jerome Featherstone, who I will have you know is a 5'7" welterweight, has gone 1-1 in his MMA career.
Oh,
that's unreal research, dude. I mean, you don't get
anything like this in other shows. I think Semelsberger's kind of a fraud, and I think that that Fletcher's fun and violent enough that he can expose that fraudliness. So take a shot on Fletcher. It seems like a bunch of people are doing that because money's coming in that way. So maybe I'll look more like Fletcher inside at plus 300. That seems like how he'll get it done. But I don't know. I don't want to do the research, so might just go money line. We'll see.
Did you see his amateur fight against William Knight? He got KO'd. Semelsberger did.
Of course.
Oh, against Thick Willie?
I think that's Thick Willie. I mean, it says William Knight. It says KO William Knight.
It's the one and only.
Yep, there he is. So that means his chin is gone, dude. He doesn't have a chin anymore.
Thick Willie broke his chin in 2017, and we're getting to profit on it in 2022. I mean
Semelsberger is all right, but he's only really beating up bums. Jason Witt, like, he doesn't have a chin. Sano, obviously a bum. And then minus, I think he's back in Alaska. So, yeah, it's a good number. I'll take it. Go Fletcher. Get one for the short squad.
Damn right. Short squad bet of the week, AJ Fletcher.
There it
is. Moving up to the main card. This one is the expectations are very high for this fight. We have Bruno Silva, who this dude is violence, and we have Alex Baheja. I think he actually goes by Pereira because he was over doing kickboxing for so long in Europe, and they just say Pereira over there. But man, people want to push Pereira to the moon. I think this could be a tricky one for him, though. He is, I have to say, he is at the garage. So there's the garage factor.
Dude. Put some respect on that man's name.
There's the garage factor at play here. But we'll get to that. Sean, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm not going against the garage. It's an awesome fight. Like, these dudes are both just absolutely violent and have wicked striking on the feet. This is gonna give Pereira what he wants. This is a better matchup, obviously, than his first one, where a guy, granted, he was horrible.
This is not a better matchup than his first fight, Sean.
It's not a better matchup. It's not a. Sorry, that's a wrong. I think it's he knows what's going to happen in this fight. Bruno Silva is not shooting on him. Like, he knows what's going to happen. Now, Bruno Silva is a million times more dangerous than that last bum, but at least he can focus on what he's going to do. And, like, I know these are little gloves, and sometimes kickboxers have a hard time transitioning with defense that way. But Bruno Silva was getting hit a bit by the Beverly Hills Ninja. And then the inevitable happened, because it always happens with the Ninja when he can't put somebody away in 20 seconds. The chin shows up. Pereira's got pretty good defense, I think. I think he's going to be able to land on him and probably put him away. So it's a bit dicey. I put him in a super chalk parlay 3-legger for a unit.
Aaron.
Oh, yeah. I think Pereira wins, but it's gonna be it's definitely a dicey fight. The smaller MMA gloves always give these kickboxers a little bit of trouble here and there, so that's always a worry. But I mean, Pereira's in the last fight, that finish was awesome. It looks like his reflexes are still there. He's got a lot of weapons. He's looking like how kind of like Jalen Turner was. He uses his knees, elbows, all of that. So Silva, I mean, both these dudes finished really early, so it'll be a good fight, and I'm excited for it. But yeah, I just think Pereira edges it here. Silva said he wants to go out there and bang, keep it on the feet. So I think we see some action, and yeah, I got Pereira here. I think he's just a little better kickboxer. So if it's going to be a kickboxing match, I'll take him.
I think Pereira is a lot better kickboxer. And if this is a kickboxing match, you absolutely have to favor him. He is going to beat anybody in the UFC hands down, except for Izzy. That's the only dude that is going to give him a competitive kickboxing match. I don't think we're going to see a kickboxing match here. I think Bruno's saying that because, of course, you're going to say that when you got 22 wins and 27 of them are knockouts, like he's got. But I don't think you can spell NCAA without Bruno in this case, because this dude is going to come out. He saw in his last fight, you guys said the finish was nice. It's not the finish that I'm worried about. It's the first round where Andreas Michelinas, he was trying to cook him. He put him in the microwave. He set 5 minutes. And then when that 5 minutes was done, unfortunately, the entree wasn't ready yet because he forgot to stop in the middle and stir it a little bit. He needed like a low blow or something to get a little break in the middle. So he came out in the second round and got flatlined. But Bruno Silva, he's smarter than that. He's a vet. He's probably going to cheat. He's probably going to hold the cage. He's going to do all sorts of shit. But I think he's going to make Pereira grapple. And the garage effect in this case is that Pereira's grappling is going to be better. He's going to be able to defend some takedowns. He's going to be able to get back up when he gets taken down. But he's just going to be stuck on that cage the whole time. And I'm putting at least a quarter unit. Big stakes here, folks. At least a quarter unit.
Big dough.
Yeah. Swinging for the fences on Bruno Silva by decision.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Spicy.
Yeah.
What is it? What do you got here?
That's a Brad special right there.
Silva by decision.
Silva by decision. It's as high as plus 950. There's 7s and 8s and 9s all across the board.
I don't hate it. Yeah.
I think there's potential here because this dude's been in deep fights before. I know he's got a lot of finishes and a lot of early finishes on his record, but he just keeps going.
They're both by decision, same price pretty much. It looks like.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe just the fight goes to decision because Bruno's also never been finished by knockout. He's got 6 losses.
Right.
5 of them are by sub and 1 is by DQ.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
That's how I know he's going to cheat.
Plus 425, plus 450.
That's not a terrible decision.
Maybe I'll just play that because I think that guards against it being like kind of a slow kickboxing match too. So
yeah, it could be that. I mean, both these dudes know what they're getting into. Usually, when it's like, all right, I got a really dangerous opponent, it gets a little more slow pace. So
yeah,
I mean, it's not. Yeah, like Bruno has a bunch of first round KOs, and so does our boy Pereira. So yeah, I don't hate that at all.
when as the wise old owl says, when they say sit, I stand, baby. Moving on to the lightweight division, we got another late replacement fight. This one should be fun. We got one of the handsomest men in MMA, Drew Dober. So handsome that he got beaten up by an opponent and then married that dude's sister. And everybody was okay with it. And he's taken on Terrence McKinney, who I think I underestimated McKinney as well. This dude's fun, but fun in like a very meat and potatoes sort of way. And I think that could pay off for him in this one. Sean, what you got?
Yeah, I might be just jumping on a hype train, and it's going to look very, very bad on Saturday because this is a very big step up for McKinney. Obviously, this is late notice, and there's still a decent amount of unknowns when it comes to McKinney. If he can't get Dober out of there relatively early, what's he going to look like late in the second and early in the third? If Dober's got some gas at that point, that's a pretty scary man if he is gas and you don't in the third round, because Dober has big power. As we all know, the liability with Dober is the wrestling. McKinney's shown to have pretty good wrestling. I don't know if he's going to be able to finish him like he did against Zion, but I think he has a decent wrestling advantage. And Dober is kind of always sketchy when going against wrestlers. He was able to overcome against Hernandez. The book's still out on Hernandez. I think we kind of know who he is. So McKinney's got some skills. So I played him for a unit at plus 185. I'm gonna look like an idiot or very smart. I don't think there's going to be an in-between in this one. It's going to be way too much and a way too much of a step up, or he's going to be able to wrestle and Dober's flaw is going to show up again.
Aaron, what we got here?
Yeah, I think I like Dober here. I think it is a big step up. The one thing is usually when these prospects who get really hyped and pushed quickly, usually they'll come up to this type of spot and they'll be like a favorite. Like when Dawkins was a favorite over fucking Derek Lewis and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So it's I don't hate it if you take a shot on McKinney at all, because he's still plus money, and I think he opened at like plus 200, which is a great number. I probably would have taken that if I had seen it. But too busy losing money betting on college basketball right now. But yeah, no, I think McKinney's like pretty well liked by the community. He's getting a lot of hype, so that's driving Dober down into a decent number to where I think he might be playable. I also do like Dober round 3. I think it's plus, it's like 11-1 is the best price you can get on that, which isn't bad. Nice. We don't really know what we're going to see out of McKinney once he gets deep, so I think that's a decent look for like a little stab. And we know Dober's got gas, and I mean his last fight against Riddell was fucking awesome. So he's obviously durable, so he can take some cracks and he can survive wrestling wise, because he's been I think he went to the third round when he fought Makhachev.
He survived.
Yeah, he survived. I think if he can survive against Makhachev, he can probably do decent against McKinney, just in case he gets taken down. And McKinney, I don't know what his gas is going to look like in the third round. And he seems to be feeling himself a lot lately, which is, well-deserved. But, yeah, I think Dober is going to probably pull this out. And hopefully in round 3, because that's how I'll be backing it. So.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Bet365 to open up the round props on this one, because they usually have the best round props. And honestly, what I've seen on McKinney round 1 hasn't been enough for me to pull the trigger. Maybe round 1 sub at it's like plus 900 or something we said before, Sean?
Yep.
That's a possibility, because as we've talked about, Dober is very difficult to knock out. This man, like, look at his head. Of course, he's difficult to knock out. Look at that jawline. It's chiseled. So I think McKinney can get him down, can get to his back, can find a rear naked choke, but he has to do that early. We've seen him in fights before get tired once he gets out of the first round. Add into that the short notice and all that sort of stuff. He didn't take a lot of damage in his last fight, obviously, but 2 weight cuts in that short period of time isn't good for you. So if it's in the first round, I think McKinney sub is live. Once it gets out of there, Dober is going to take over. And just given the other performances we've seen from Dober, it's taken guys, even much more skilled grapplers than McKinney, some time to sub him. So I think that Dober can survive that first round. He probably ends up winning. But if I get a massive round 1 number, I might throw it in a round robin or something like that on McKinney just to cover my ass. Light heavyweight division, we got Khalil, I don't want to be here, Rountree, taking on Carl Roberson, 2 kickboxers, one who doesn't want to be here, that's Khalil Rountree, and the other one who thinks he's a grappler, and that's Carl Roberson. So this is going to be a shit show. Sean?
Yeah, I don't have much in this fight. It's weird. Both these guys are so fucking flaky. Obviously, Roberson doesn't really have to worry about getting taken down and subbed like he usually does against anybody. It's going to be a kickboxing fight. Is he going to force the wrestling? I don't know if that's a good idea. Nobody's really taken down Rountree that much, and I might be a waste of energy. I do think he could probably just out kickbox him, throw a bit more volume than Rountree. I'll probably pick Roberson, but these guys are so flaky. I'm not trusting them.
Aaron?
Yeah, this is like the Spider-Man meme kind of fight. I don't really know who's gonna win, but I think it'll be a competitive kickboxing match for however long it lasts. I know Rountree, he's been bouncing around gyms. I don't know, is he still in Thailand? I don't think he is, but I know when he went there, I lived in Thailand for like 6 months and trained in Tiger and stuff. I'm pretty sure he went there just to party. So I don't know if he went there actually to just train and take it serious. And Roberson, yeah, I mean, he's a decent kickboxer, but both of them have proven that they're not really reliable. So 2 unreliable dudes going at it. I don't really want to bet on it, but I think it'll be a decently fun fight to watch. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to expect out of these guys.
I feel like by the time this fight happens, my ass will be fully parked on the couch. I probably won't even be able to get up because I've had so many marijuanas and seltzers or beers, depending on what I choose that particular evening. So because I will be in that specific state, I'm probably going to throw like a tiny little bet on Roberson by sub at plus 900.
Wow. Spicy.
I mean, people
Why
say,
not?
He's a former Glory kickboxer and all this sort of stuff. And me, an idiot who doesn't overthink betting on MMA, looks back to before he was fighting in Glory, he won a fight in 2015 by armbar.
Did he really? Let's go. He's back.
After he came back from Glory in 2017, he won a fight by armbar. He beat Darren Stewart, who's like an actual UFC fighter, by submission. Rear naked choke.
Give him a black belt. What are we doing here?
Like, this man, he really believes that he is a grappler. There's gonna be grappling in this fight. And I know he's lost by submission in his last 2 fights, but he is not facing Brendan Allen or Marvin Vettori tonight, or Saturday night. I'll give that plus 900 a little sprinkle. and I think that has some legs. But
into
my
it.
pick's going to be Carl Roberson in this one, just because he can do more things, and he actually seems like he wants to be there. Featherweight division. I don't know what to say at this point, Sean. Alex Caceres. I can't. My brain will not compute that he's a good fighter, and yet he keeps winning fights. And he's facing Sadiq Yusuff, who seems like a good fighter, but ends up losing fights. So I'm in a blender on this one. Tell me what you got.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because Caceres keeps winning and I keep losing money on him. So why should I stop now? I think Yusuff is good. He won like probably 90% of that fight against Arnold Allen right until he gets clipped, and then he lost the round. I don't think he's going to have to worry about that in this fight. He has been taken down, but I think he has good enough takedown defense to fend Caceres off. And on the feet, I think he has more power. Not like he has lots of power or anything, but I think he still has more power than Caceres, and I think he's a cleaner striker. I think this run that Caceres has been on, that it boggles most people's minds, I think it comes to an end on Saturday. I got 2 units in a chalky ass parlay, just a 2-legger with Yusuff.
Aaron, does Bruce Leroy keep it rolling?
No, I don't think so. I think Caceres has been fighting a bunch of bums. I mean, his last opponent was pretty good.
That was a weird fight.
Nchukwi is pretty good, but
he almost died in that.
Fight. He knocked him down and he almost had him out. So I think Sadiq is alive for a KO here, honestly, especially in a small cage. I think Caceres is a lot more effective in those bigger cages, and Sadiq is going to be able to hunt him down. He's got a lot of power, so if he puts him out, wouldn't surprise me at all. The price isn't great though; it's only like plus 200 for a KO. So I was hoping for a little more, but yeah, I like Yusuff. I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win pretty easily. I think he's gonna do a lot more damage. And Caceres has looked good, but yeah, his level of competition has been pretty sus. It hasn't been great. So I'll take Yusuff here. I think this is a good bounce back spot for him.
Yeah, I think you hit the major points at the end there, and somewhere in the middle as well, is that Caceres has beaten a bunch of bums up until his last fight. That was a good win against Choi. I think Choi is all right. But Kroom, Springer, Hooper, Peterson, like, those guys are not good. They shouldn't be in the UFC. I think Sadiq Yusuff is good. He's a borderline top 15 featherweight, and I think there's going to be a significant athletic differential here. And then also a significant power differential, where Yusuff might normally have to worry about getting dropped or getting hurt. I don't think that exists with Caceres. Small cage is going to make it more difficult for Caceres to dance around and do what he wants to do. But yeah, I like Sadiq Yusuff. Maybe stoppage, maybe decision. I'm actually leaning a little bit more towards the decision after seeing how that Allen fight went, where he was able to outpoint him most of the time and just lost the big moments. I think he does the same thing, except he doesn't lose the big moments in this one.
Yeah.
Co-main event. What we got? Co-main event. Marlon Moraes. Is it his swan song? Taking on Song Yadong. You know that dude's carrying an absolute hammer with a name like that. Sean, break this one down. I will be back in a second.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think this is going to be sad for Moraes. I think his best path to victory at this point in his career is to do what he did in the Dvalishvili fight. He needs to come forward and throw fucking haze. And I don't know if he's going to do that, because he's coming off 3 finishes. And that's bad, because if he doesn't do that, I think in a small cage, Yadong is going to pressure him, and he's going to crumple in that Yadong's got good power. He's going to check that chin and get him out of there. Like I said, if Moraes is smart, he'll go crazy and it'll be an awesome fight. If he doesn't, I give him much less of a chance, and Yadong's probably going to put him away. So I got Yadong in that chalky ass parlay with Pereira and another guy in the next fight. I guess you can guess who it is. That's what I like. What do you got, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel much differently. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. I think Yadong is like probably, would you say, like the top Chinese fighter, or I guess Weili's in there, but top male.
He's the best male fighter.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy that the UFC is probably trying to invest in. Moraes is a guy, if you have a win over him, you're looking pretty legit. And despite like his recent track record, even though he's getting dropped by jabs and shit, I think Yadong is probably gonna be able to put it on him. He's explosive, especially early. He fades a little bit, but yeah, you don't really have to worry about that with Moraes. But I will say Moraes is still, regardless of his durability issues, he's still really dangerous in the early going. Like, he had Merab wobbled a little bit, and he's a good finisher. So yeah, I was looking at the props here.
Some under action or what?
Well, like Moraes round 1 is like 9-1. That's not terrible. Like, if you're thinking about backing Moraes, which I'm like, it's obviously not the funnest thing to do, but if you're going to, you can get some pretty good numbers. Like
round 1, 900.
I don't think he's gonna win in round 3. Like, I think he can probably narrow down his path to victory pretty easily. Like, he's either gonna knock you on the round 1, or I mean, his sub prop is 10-1. And he's the type of dude that if you wobble someone, he'll like jump on them. He'll jump on their neck or something like that. So that's like not out of the question. Yeah. So if you're looking to back Moraes, I wouldn't back him on the money line or anything like that. I think there's tons of possibilities with how he approaches the fight, and one of them being like he goes just super conservative, and that's like the worst possible thing that you could do, because you see dudes get knocked out and then they come out the next few fights and they're just like conservative. But yeah, I think like he needs to realize like his best chance to win is round 1. So go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go take this dude's head off. And then if you lose, whatever, dude.
Yep.
That is his best path to victory, and also his best path to lose quickly in this one. So gonna be interesting to see what Marlon Rice does in this spot, because yeah, he's got a durable guy in front of him who is going to come forward and throw some volume. So if Moraes wants to play a conservative game plan, I think he's going to be gassed out in about 2 or 3 minutes from circling away and backing up and all that sort of stuff that he's not really used to doing. If he comes forward, then I think there's going to be collisions. So I think the under is actually live in this spot. You can get plus money on the under 1.5, small cage, all that sort of stuff. I think actually kind of has an impact in this fight.
Yeah, definitely does.
If I had to guess, I actually kind of think that Song gets it done in round 1. I mean, I don't know about Yadong, but sometimes my dong can't go more than 5 minutes without getting a finish. So that's just how it be sometimes, right?
Man, Bet Rivers has fight ends in round 1 at plus 900.
Oh, dude,
no.
That's the move.
No.
100%.
No. That's got to be wrong. Why is yeah? There's got to be a screw up. There's a plus 180, but then there's a plus 900. Obviously, best fight odds is fucked. It's saying the same thing back to back with 2 different odds. So obviously that's a fuck up. It's plus 180 is the real number. I don't know what the plus 900 is.
There.
That's what I was saying. Fight won't start round 2. I see at plus 170, which I mean, even that I feel like has a little bit of value, but if Moraes comes out and is good
striking technically in the first round for a few minutes. Maybe he backs Yadong up, but I don't know. I think Yadong is just going to be hammering forward throughout this whole fight, and eventually he's going to find some holes in Moraes' defense and get the damn thing done. So I like Yadong in this one. I think that he does it inside the distance. The fact that line is at even money is kind of nice. I'm probably going to end up betting that. But I think he does it pretty quickly as well. Moraes' chin looks really shot in his last few fights. And I think that Yadong can take advantage of that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't think you should. I mean, that ITD line looks fucking legit. It's not. I think he's going to finish Moraes if he beats Moraes. So Moraes his durability is out the window.
Moraes round 1, in fairness, that is absolutely the type of bet that I would waste money on.
Dude, I might.
I did it against Valishvili, man. That was my hedge against Valishvili.
I had that same
round
fight
1,
too.
and I took Valishvili inside. That's
I had Moraes early on that one too. It was like a ridiculous number.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
It's still possible. It's still possible.
I mean, the dude can still crack. He's still super explosive for like 30 seconds.
Yep.
So all he's got to do is catch one.
But this one will be fun for however long it lasts. So at least we've got that to look forward to before we slog through the main events, because everybody's favorite lightweight, Magomed Ankalaev.
Light heavyweight. Come on now.
Oh, yeah, whatever. They're all Russians. Everybody's favorite everything is Russian these days, Sean. It confuses me.
Fair.
He's good. I'll admit that he's good, but even the people that are fans of him have to admit that this is a dude that absolutely always takes the path of least resistance. He's just going to do the least amount that he has to do to win and get away with it. He's like me at my job. He's like Sean at his job. He's like everybody at their job.
Yeah.
He just wants to show up and get his paycheck and do as little as he can to get that paycheck. And I think in this fight, it's going to result in him winning a decision against a beyond, can't pull the trigger, shop worn, no knees, Thiago Santos. Sean?
McJesus just scored. Fucking love it.
Let's go. Did we manifest that? I think we did.
we did. Yeah, the only caveat to that is the Cute Labia fight, where Cute Labia just ran towards him and forced a fight. I don't think Santos has that in him anymore. You've
seen Thiago Santos fight over the past couple of years. Right?
Yeah, there was a time and a place where that was a possibility. I just don't think it's that anymore. Santos, 38 years old now, both knees absolutely shot in that John Jones fight, then gets absolutely wrecked by Glover. His explosiveness, what made him scary is gone. It's kind of sad. So if somehow he can turn back the clock, maybe he has a chance to clip that chin. If he does, he probably gets countered and finished. Or it's gonna be a long night and a one-sided night. I got Ankalaev in a bunch of parlays. I got that 2-unit one with Yusuff minus 130 and that 3-legger with the Dong and Pereira at plus 162. Hopefully I get paid for this being a boring ass fight, but Santos can quicken this up and fight aggressive, and then he'll probably finish him anyway.
Aaron, main event.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated, according to some people. What you got?
I think you guys covered it. Santos's knees are dusty. I think he's getting a lot more grappling practice with his wife now, Yana. So maybe he's dangerous on the ground still. Is he a dad now? Did she have a baby?
Yep.
I think he did.
Yep.
So you never know. New dad swag. You get some. You get a little XP on that. But Yeah, I think this is a tough task for him. I think the biggest red flag with Thiago Santos is he went 5 rounds with Johnny Walker. So if you can't finish Johnny,
snoozer,
yeah, like that was the worst fight of all time, and everyone thought it was going to be great, and everyone thought it was going to end early, and it went 5 rounds. And obviously, it takes 2 to tango, but I think he could have pushed forward a little more. Obviously, Johnny Walker is a dangerous dude, but he's also like really easy to finish. And yeah, so I think if you can't finish him, I think you're gonna have a little more difficult time moving forward on Ankalaev, who's really good, pretty much everywhere. So I think it's past his time. Santos kind of probably peaked in his John Jones fight, and that was kind of like a moral victory for him. And yeah, now he's just like, maybe he'll train his son to be, or whatever they had. Him and Yana will raise some new fighters. But yeah, I think it's past his time. I got Ankalaev here for sure.
Chalk it up.
Yeah,
chalk it up.
I think people already have chalked it up. Man, 3 of Santos's last 4 fights have been pretty boring, pretty slow paced.
And he used to be dope. He used to be like muscle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like take your head off.
I think if he's willing to do that in this fight, that Ankalaev will be more than willing to like jab and kick him from distance and win the decision. So I think this card's going to be pretty damn entertaining. Some of it's going to be weird. Some of it's going to be shitty. It's all going to be entertaining in some way or another until we get to this main event. And then I think the main event's going to be kind of rough. Probably
just watch the first round and then you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
No, this card looks dope though. I actually kind of like it. I'll be in some sports book in Lake Tahoe yelling dong and hopefully not getting kicked out of any sports.
Yadong!
Really loud.
Everybody know.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, no, I think this is going to be a dope card.
Well, Aaron, we appreciate you stepping in for the slackers on the podcast.
Lou Williams over here.
You are welcome anytime.
Love to hear it.
We'll have to get you in in the group chat or something like that, so that if we need somebody short notice. And,
I'm all about the short notice, short squad. Yeah. So let me know. I'm here. I'm Lou Williams. I'm here to fill in. I don't got much else to do.
More importantly, did you see Westberg's goal last weekend for the San Diego Seals?
No, I didn't see it.
Might have been one of the greatest goals of all time.
Really? Dude, that's my squad, dude. I got to go back to the game. Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. Do you have a clip of it?
I'll send it to you. It's ridiculous. But that's going to do it for us this week on the MMA analysis. We appreciate Aaron hopping in and joining us. Sean, I guess we appreciate you. I mean, we do appreciate Sean. He does all the hard work for the show.
Yeah, he does.
And we'll be back next week or the week after or whenever the next card is. And hopefully Lance and Wes will be back with us as well.